Y'all gotta carpet your floors before you let them club and hub news women romp around your house.
The Loose Stool with Matt and Nick.
So when I get outside, like when I'm doing that, it's usually like he's not even awake yet. So you know, I don't have to feel too judged.
Fair enough. Well, it is the Christmas season. Merry Christmas to you. I was
just going to ask you how your Christmas was. Actually, I was just getting to the same point. Interestingly enough,
it's pretty good. I went home to see the family. I had two separate parties. You know, Christmas Eve. Went to see my mom and siblings that morning. She always has kind of a Christmas brunch, so to speak. So we had some good tenderloin and some mashed potatoes and all that. That was good, and exchanged some stories of old. By the way, that reminds me. There's a story about my brother. I got to tell you a little bit later. That's pretty fantastic. But
oh boy, That's a teaser. We're on the edge of our seats right here, right now.
Yes. But so yesterday, like I said, this is the day after Christmas. We're recording this, but yesterday I went to my grandparents' house, met my dad, my aunt, and my cousin, and it was nice. I got a Dutch oven from my grandmother, which was pretty awesome because I've been wanting those for a while.
Like an actual Dutch oven. She didn't like get you.
She didn't hold me under the covers. No.
It would have been a lot cooler if your grandma did do that, though.
I don't agree, but well,
not for you, but for story's sake, it would have been a lot funnier, anyways.
I suppose, but I kind of figured
my grandma pinned me down and gave me a Dutch oven. I mean, that's objectively hilarious.
My family is weird, but not that weird. But going home for the holidays, it's when you're a creative spirit from the Midwest out of a family that doesn't really have any other people like that. It is kind of like going back to Christmas dinner and being like a used car salesman for your dreams. So I'll go back and like,
how so?
Yeah, like I want to go. I go back and I'm like, yeah. So I have all these creative ventures and I kind of want to tell jokes for a living. And they're like, oh, you want to tell jokes for a living? Oh, you got a 2004 Toyota Camry with 260,000 miles on it. Well, good luck selling that.
So wait, like, do you have any do you have cousins that are actually, doing things a little bit better that you get compared to at the same time? Like, that just makes it all that much worse.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah, my cousin, she's 20, I think, and she's going to college to be a structural engineer. Yeah, so it's a stark comparison.
Oh, geez, good for her. But
geez,
that's gotta suck for you.
It is a stark comparison, and I was an honor student and everything in high school, but 10 years later, you see what I'm using that for. I got a poop joke podcast, but it's just like you're gonna build bridges. Well, you want to hear some jokes about snacks? That's my life.
Oh, but what you should do is you should just flip it like in the other direction. You just walk up to her, just to be like, I mean, you got to be funny about it, But you just start a rivalry up and go, oh, so you think you're good at math, huh? And you just kind of stare at her a little bit and then walk by.
Just mean mug her the whole night. Like, oh, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?
But then a little bit later, you walk by like, do you hear the one about the priest and the rabbi who walked into the bar?
Well, I mean, considering she wants to be an engineer, my dad and I always go for the obvious joke of like, I don't see how it takes this much schooling to drive a train.
Toot toot.
Yeah. Real fucking lame.
Wouldn't it be cool if like obviously, yeah. I understand you're talking about like train engineer, but it would be funny if like all engineers that are like doing math at their like respective companies had to wear the train caps. So like you walk in, there's like a math room, and there's all these people with their like, what are those tools? The shit that people use for math, like the
like a
thing
whiteboard,
that draws circles, protractor,
oh,
a protractor, and the half circle one that tells the angles. What's that?
Compass. Well, not a no.
Compass. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That's a compass, and then the protractor. Or wait, the compass is the one with the pencil.
That's the one that draws the circle.
Protractor is the half. Yeah, we are so smart. Yeah, this.
Well,
so this is what your parents are talking about.
Yep. I've utilized my education well, but since we're
clearly we both have.
Yeah. So since we're starting up the show, of course, as we start every show, I got to ask you, what you drinking over there?
So I got to give out my shout out, or I got to give up my shout out. I don't know how I'm trying to say this, but I want to give my shout out to Red Hook, who started my lovely buzz that I got going on tonight with a Longhammer IPA and a Big Ballard IPA. But what I'm drinking right now as we're speaking, because I had to slow it down because those beers are just so delicious and way too strong, I'm drinking a little Rolling Rock. A nice little, let me just read the story. From the glass-lined tanks of old Latrobe.
Is it Latrobe or Latrobe? I've never been able to figure out if it's Latrobe or Latrobe.
That's a good question. I think Latrobe sounds better. Latrobe.
Old Latrobe.
From the glass-lined tanks of old Latrobe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm drinking. What are you drinking, Matt?
Well, I've been over here and just staring at this big-ass bottle of Jim Beam, and I've just been thinking, well, I'm working my way back to you, babe. Because I'm a little songbird today. But I had to warm myself up to do this today.
Tweet.
Yeah, getting back into it. I had a couple tall Coors Lights, which are, I know, garbage, but I couldn't just go straight for the... Little breakfast,
yeah. Breakfast for you?
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Breakfast Coors Lights. Cheers to that. But you're on now, not to cut you off, but I have a feeling I know where you're going with this, your catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
What are you drinking?
I did eventually get back to the Jim Beam.
My man.
Tossing that wooden nickel on the counter.
He only drinks the manly stuff. A little Jim Beam. Fucking A. How about that?
I'm drinking the manly stuff, and before you're telling me how much you want to get back into champagne.
Champagne. Yeah. Well, it's like, so the thing is, and we were talking about this earlier, is I have loved champagne my entire life. And I don't know if it's because of like the correlation of you drink it on special occasions and it makes it taste better. But I was kind of wondering, like, I like this stuff a lot, and I bought some for New Year's. I got a little bottle sitting in the back, and I'm sitting on it for New Year's. It's going to be a lonely New Year's, and I'm just going to be hanging out here watching reruns from Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve 1998. I think that's what I'm going to do. But
well, you can think of the people out there, because this is going to come out on either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depending. But just think that all our listeners are right there with you.
Yeah, so I'll be cracking this bottle that I'm sitting on right now. But the thing, and because I'm rambling right now, the thing that I got to is like, I like champagne. Why do I feel like I can only buy it on New Year's Eve or like other special occasions? Why can't I like just go to the store? And I know I can, but why do I feel like I can't just go to the store and buy a bottle of champagne, on March 3rd?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I personally love like even a cheap bottle like Brut or something on a hot summer day, man. Like getting up and like just a nice dry glass of champagne over ice on a hot summer day. Oh, it's the best.
See, I've never done that, and I'm so mad that I've never done that. Like, why have I only drank champagne on December 31st for most of my life? Because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, you got to switch your priorities around, my dude.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the champagne of beers, yes, all day, every day. I'll drink a hell out of High Life, but I never thought on a hot summer day I'll go get a bottle of champagne. But that makes so much sense. I'm gonna crack a new one. I just want to get this into the podcast. Yeah,
there you go.
Open. I was realizing, there's been all these commercials recently about like take a water break. Make sure that you have a glass of water in between your booze. But if you just put ice into your beer, you're already gonna get the water. Smarter alcoholic. I think that shit's smart.
That's Lemmy.
That shit is smart.
That's Lemmy Kilmister logic. Like he's on record saying that like R.I.P. obviously Lemmy, but he would say that if he ever felt dehydrated,
what?
If he said if he felt dehydrated, he would add a few more ice cubes to his Jack and Coke. So we talked about last week, like buying music on just a whim of like this album cover looks cool, so I'm gonna get this, and I kind of did the same thing a lot growing up with like horror movies. Like every weekend with my dad growing up, he would take me to like Video Plus or Blockbuster, and I was allowed to rent two movies to rent, and I always beelined right for the horror section. And this holiday season, I decided to rent the classic horror movie An American Werewolf in London, which I forgot just how much I love that movie. Like it is just so perfect in the way that it's like it's a scary movie, but it has so many elements of like levity and like kind of comedic moments as well, where it really just made me feel good. And like that's what I want to start doing every holiday season, because like as much as I grew up and did enjoy a lot of the classic Christmas movies like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Year Without a Santa Claus, like the old claymation stuff and all that, like really the movies that have always made me feel the best were classic horror. So I think that's what I'm going to start doing every year. I'm just going to rent an old movie, like an old horror movie that I haven't seen in forever, and because this season's about feeling good, and I don't want to watch those Christmas movies that make me depressed. I want to watch something that makes me feel good. So that's what I'm doing.
I totally get that. I mean, I gotta say, like, it is a little bit interesting. And I know you're not talking about like the most gory horror films ever, but to just like, what's gonna make me feel good during the holidays is if I just watch some people get slaughtered. Like that's a little bit interesting. But your overall sentiment, I get 100%. I've kind of my personal take on this holiday season. Especially since I didn't get the chance to go home. Things are different because of COVID, but just in general, I don't really enjoy this time of year too much myself. But you figure out what makes you feel good, and you go with that. And I'm all about that sort of mindset. If that's what makes you feel happy during the holidays, and fuck yeah. Like for me, I celebrate the solstice. I love the fact that I know that as of December 20th or 21st, depending on the year, more daylight is coming. I don't give a shit about the rest, but that makes me happy. And yeah, man, you got the horror films. That's what's up.
Hell yeah. I mean, even today, it's the day after the actual holiday, but I slept until noon for the first time in I don't know how long. Like I can't even remember. But I've just been like driving myself into the dirt for so long, just working and doing a bunch of stuff. Just it felt good for once to like just let myself piss half the day away, even though it's not productive. But so after I woke up though, I walked outside and I was still like a little bit hungover, not anything too harsh, but I walked out and God damn it, I just wanted to go next door and get a little like